I'm Mirella.
And I'm Zoe, and welcome to the Critical Obsession podcast.
We're starting a new series. We're
We are.
hoping.
Yes, we're going to give it a go and see if we like it, if we can get obsessed with it.
I hope we do. We're going to call this one Safe House Crushes.
And why are we going to do that?
Because this is where we saw Jimmy and C first. This is what I did, anyway.
But yeah, that's how we sort of got to know them, essentially. Full disclaimer, we both did watch part of Vice Versa, but never finished it. You watched part of it, didn't you?
I kind of finished it.
You skipped bits.
Yeah, I skipped and I know how it ends.
I was watching it with a friend, and then we had some real life drama, and so we just sort of stopped, and I really didn't feel into it enough to sort of watch it on my own. I did, however, watch the episode that Gunn cameoed in, but that was about it. So I'm hoping that this will be the drama that sucks me in.
It looks very promising.
It looks interesting.
Yes.
So should we watch the first part? It's up.
Yes, let's proceed.
Okay, let's proceed. Hello.
There's a lot of stuff going on in this first part. A lot of information to retain.
I know. I was really funny because I was like, I don't really know what I was expecting, but I thought, you know what, I'll just pull out my little trusty note maker because maybe I'll make some notes. And I did actually make some notes. I was really surprised.
Oh yeah, me too. So many notes.
Yeah, there's a lot to unpack for real in this first bit.
A lot of setup, a lot of themes already.
And things that I wasn't expecting.
Like what? Why did you not expect?
I mean, obviously we knew that Jimmy was gonna have a dark backstory or whatever. Or not Jimmy, sorry. Mark? I don't know. Mark? we sound like we're just making noise. I need to hear someone else say that name again. I was not paying attention. But anyway, Jimmy's character. We were expecting him to have a dark backstory, but I wasn't quite expecting what happened. Sort of
I'm still laughing because we were making random noises, right?
It was like when a chicken or something makes and now I just made chicken noises on the podcast. That's awesome. See, you get a little bit of everything. But yeah, the imagery and just everything, I feel like I could probably talk quite a bit about this first bit without any sort of I'm intrigued.
Yeah.
And yeah, I was just I guess the first thing, right, that kind of, well, first off, I absolutely hated it. I absolutely hated it because I hate anything where they have flashing lights. So the first few opening scene bits where they were almost like camera flashes, I hated that because it makes me kind of go ugh. But it was really clever on one hand because it kind of was, we had this black and white imagery and these flashes of light, which is obviously what he's going to be what Dave's experiencing as he's losing his sight. But also
did you notice when we get the warning at the beginning where the nice lady is reading that, this shouldn't be taken just la la la. I forgot what she's saying. The thing that they say at the beginning of every BL or every Thai series. It was blurry.
You know what? I didn't even notice. I think because I was grabbing my notepad. So, but
blurry. It was blurry, and also there was they did a lot of promo where they'd show half of an image normally, with normal colors and concentration and everything clear, and the other half would be blurry in order to show you how Day is experiencing the world, I guess.
Of view. That's really interesting. It's very clever. And I also thought it was interesting. As I said, I hated the flashing. But also it was super clever because besides the idea of this is what's going to happen to him, it's also clearly he's meant to be, semi-famous and popular and have like, you know, he's this, if he's playing, if it's like a kind of televised badminton game,
Mm-hmm.
god, I struggled saying that word, then like he's, you know, he's like a semi-famous professionally sports player person. um
Have you noticed there was a poster on the wall behind him that said, "Too fast to live, too young to die"? Because all the other things were very like sports things, like keep calm and play badminton or something like this. That this one stood out because it was quite a general thing to say, although it does apply to people who do sports, right? Because they retire pretty fast, especially depending on the sports that they play.
mm,
And it's like too fast to live, too young to die. And now what's happening to his life when
yeah,
he's in this situation where I guess all his life he lived, his whole life has been focusing on this
like
thing
one
that he
moment.
does.
Mm-mm.
Yes, and now he's going to lose everything, like the meaning of his life,
Yeah,
basically.
like literally lose focus essentially. um
Yes.
and it's funny because I, unfortunately, this is a pet peeve. This is a pet peeve of mine for like, and it's not just GMM biased. It's like all Thai dramas, and it's not even Thai dramas. I've noticed it in Korean ones as well, and things like that. Is this thing where, okay, so like it's a televised sporting event. They're playing Singapore. It's like clearly it's a big deal, and there's like 10 people watching. Like it, I like extras, not a concept over there. Like you could literally, probably they could have just walked out the front door of GMM and just grabbed like a bunch of people who were just hanging around there trying to find the stars to like come and be in this drama. Like I feel like they could have gotten a bunch of like Jimmy C fans to like sit in the crowd
Hmm.
for free. It's
Well,
so
it is
weird to
what
me.
it is. I was like, Fiona is here, and it's so funny because she's here, and Amtam is also here, and they're going to do this drama together, and I'm like, oh, that is
Well, I mean, it's interesting because it, you know, obviously one is the sister, one is the ex girlfriend. Uh,
cute. Film is the sister of
Day,
A.
Day, yeah,
I
and
see.
then
Yeah.
yeah, and
Do you
then
think they're going to be a thing? Do you think they're going to meet, especially because they
well,
have a
I
drama together?
I think so. I would be surprised, given that they've got a drama coming up, if they
Mm-hmm.
don't like do some sort of in it. Like
Like
it's a perfect setup,
second
really,
couple.
isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I'm not
Yeah.
necessarily suggesting that they'll end up together, but
Mm-hmm.
there probably will be some like, you know, cute interactions to get like fans interested, I think.
I thought when Mork appeared, I thought that was a very Sean way to introduce him.
Or how he came
Like it
rolling
gave
out from
me this.
underneath the car.
Yeah, yeah. It's like he's so dangerous. He's so bad because like you don't know who he is. You don't know why he does the thing. Why, like, what his personality is, and you're like, are you bad news? What's going on with you? I think this is the way they wanted us to see him anyway, because that's what the music was saying. Like it was so loud, it was almost overwhelming, like distracting,
Mm.
because they were so concentrated so much on presenting him in a very reckless and like he's a thug, really.
Yeah.
Like you don't know
It's
what
it
to expect from him.
Yeah, it's so funny that you mentioned not me, because like while I was watching it, I totally had a not me moment because of the
Hmm.
cigarette. because
Yeah, yeah.
because I'm like, oh, it's unblurred. Because in not me, I remember they kept
Oh,
blurring the
these are
cigarettes.
blurred. Oh,
Yeah.
I guess they're very attentive with the blurry stuff. Like it's very intentional here, and if they use it on a cigarette, then just like they ruin
Well,
the whole.
I think in not me, it was implied that they were like other kinds of cigarettes, not your normal just tobacco. So maybe that's why they blurred them, because it was like a drug and not just tobacco. But
You think so?
I'm not really sure about that. But I did think it was really weird that it was like not blurred. And it just made me reminded me of not me. So it's so funny that you mentioned like in that scene you thought of not, like it made you think of Sean. But yeah, I agree. Like
It's
I
a
mean
good
that whole
sign. If we reminded of not me, it's a good sign.
yeah, yeah. Well, actually, that's true. It's positive.
And then he
It
gets
is
a
one of our
call.
benchmarks.
he gets a call and he ignores the call, and I wonder, was this call from his sister or was it from his girlfriend?
Mm. Which also could have been
Because
about
he
the
doesn't.
sister though as well.
Yeah.
Even if it was his girlfriend, it could have been about the sister. It's interesting too, like this whole scene, like this thing that happens, obviously it's like a group of thugs coming to him
Mhm.
and his friends, and he
Mhm.
makes comment as well about them having money. So
Mhm.
clearly him and his sister struggle from like the story that we're
Mhm.
getting.
Mhm.
And so now we're having shades of dangerous romance.
Yeah.
And so yeah, no, right. But he's got like rich friends, supposedly, from what he says. Now he has this
But
fight
other
because,
friends, because he says that they dumped him.
well, I
So
mean,
maybe it was
obviously
a
they're not.
superficial connection.
Yeah, but the reason he fights is like so weird as well, because he says something to one of them like, "Are you still messing with that one's like, partner or whatever?"
Mhm.
So like
Yeah.
basically one of his, let's look, I'm saying friends with air quotations around it, but one of his friends is like, I don't know, cheating, I guess, with the leader of the other
Mhm.
gang's
Mhm.
like person. And it's like, but that's not your battle. Like, why are you jumping into that with a broken bottle? Like, it's so
I guess they
extreme.
I guess they're setting up the fact that he has been hanging out with the wrong crowd,
Yeah.
which and they were dragging him back. Maybe they were kind of using him, and the fact that he doesn't have like certain connections, or
Mm.
I don't know. I'm not sure what I'm trying to say here, but the fact that he bet on Singapore and he was happy when his future boyfriend got started to
His
lose
future
is
boyfriend.
so fucking twisted. I
Well,
mean, I love this, but it's so dark.
yeah, like it's like wait till later on, like will there be this like realization moment that
Yeah.
when he
Oh
was
my
just
god,
having like this
so
glee moment, the other one's life was falling apart. Um,
it's so twisted.
I actually thought that this scene was because at the same time, I said to you about like I was like, why would you get into that fight? But it was really
Mm-hmm.
interesting to me because essentially we had these like side by side comparisons of, like one that I think in the trailer it says basically like one, something about
Doesn't
the
have a
future.
future.
Yeah, yeah,
The other one cannot see his future.
yeah. So like Jimmy's character is basically like he's aimlessly just like gone into this super like
Hmm.
lame fight essentially, which turns quite
Yeah.
serious quite fast, right?
Yeah,
And
because oh
then
my god, he used a broken glass bottle.
I
That's a
I know, right? That's
serious thing,
it's so
Glenn. Come on.
it's so
It
extreme.
is.
And then you've got these scenes of Day at the same time where he is like they it's almost like they're both fighting for their lives, but like
Mm-hmm.
it's completely different, like obviously, but it's this really weird and kind of interesting parallel to their scenes. um and the other thing is Day is terrified about what's happening, which makes sense, of course, like don't get me wrong, like I'm not I get that, but he is absolutely terrified in this moment, fighting for his life,
Yeah.
trying to like
Yeah. Yeah.
get through, push
Mm-hmm.
through. And then you've got make sense of what's going on, and then you've got Jimmy's scenes where
Mm-hmm.
he is just like no fear, does
But
not
I
fucking
think,
care.
yeah, but I think it makes sense because like Day had a goal. He was
Jimmy's
losing something there.
Yeah, Jimmy's aimless. Yeah.
Yes, and Mark is aimless. He doesn't,
Mock.
he just kind of trying to stay afloat. He has nothing to lose. He has nothing.
Mm-mm. I really
So
like as
yeah.
well that we get this like I remember reading something a long time ago. I can't remember what it was. I can't remember the exact wording, but it spoke about like someone who had been like had sight all of their life and then suddenly went blind. Um
Mm-hmm.
and the idea was like this person was saying it was like being in prison, right? Like someone threw you in, they didn't tell you why, you're alone, you don't know what's going on. um and like that was like what they imagined like being shoved into solitary must be like.
Mm-hmm.
um and we like so Day is going through this, and then Mork is like literally in a prison of his own making, sitting there, and he still is just like angry and like whatever until he finds out about his sister, and then it just spirals. But I just thought there's these interesting like parallels going on already, that's kind of a lot of fun to see. I mean, it's like horrible, but
So,
also a lot of fun to see.
and he has been locked up for 6 months and a year passed. So that means that for half a year, he has been trying to find a job to like I guess he's trying to find a goal. He's trying to not fall apart
Mm.
because he realized that he was I don't know.
I feel like
Maybe
he's
he is trying to
probably,
get better.
yeah. I feel like he seems like he's an angry guy, like,
Hmm.
and that probably stems from whatever happened with his parents, you know,
I
and
feel
then
I feel um I feel like there's something here like maybe their parents died and his sister was the one who had goals. His sister was like the one who was who had the rest who took the responsibility on herself
mm,
to become something, and he was just there. He did not feel the need to do that with his life, and now that his sister's gone, like he feels a responsibility to become something, to not just disappear into nothingness because that's what happened to her.
yeah, it's I mean, I was not expecting the like the narrative of her story. I was thinking
Hmm.
an accident, or like when he was freaking out in prison, and also because it wasn't overly clear like who the girl was who came to him. Like I was like, is she his sister or his girlfriend? And so I'm thinking, so when he was like freaking out, I'm like, is this about his sister or about a friend or about a girlfriend?
Hmm.
But then, like he
Hmm.
said, tell me what happened to my sister. And I was like, okay,
Hmm.
so this is the characters. Because I did not go and look up ahead to see who was playing what part or any of that sort of stuff. Like I
Hmm.
didn't read anything about this. I didn't. We watched the trailer and that's about it.
Hmm.
Um, so I know absolutely nothing. A bit like with Dangerous Romance, I know absolutely nothing going into this. Um, so I thought it was we had the bit where he went to like he was looking for the job, and he had his like I guess what do we call those here, like house arrest bracelets.
Yeah,
Um
yeah, I don't
yeah,
know.
yeah. To like go and look for work. Um and he met that guy who basically said come back when it's gone. Um and he seems like super eager. And then of course when he come back, he was weird and like shifty and like so it's like was he just saying shit to say shit? Like, like you to say something to get rid of him, like initially, or did he really mean that and something has changed in the time it took
One
for
thing
him
that
to
I
get the
thought,
bracelet removed?
I thought the policeman will see him again because he's nice and charismatic. And I think we'll see him again and he'll kind of be one of those people who'll try to tell him, try again, try again, try again, do better, or something like this.
Mm.
I think it's interesting because he quit drinking, maybe he quit other stuff, like quit being bad,
Yeah.
and
No,
he's
but I would.
trying, but the world is not giving him another chance.
Yeah. No, I was
Is what's
talking about the
happening.
guy where he went for the job and the guy said to him, "Oh, you've got lots of skills, come back." And then when he came
Yeah, I
back, he
think
was
I
like,
think he only said that to not
"Get rid of
make
him."
things because he doesn't. Yeah, like when you want to stay nice and you don't want to make things uncomfortable and
Mm.
kind of lie.
I absolutely loved how he fixed the chair. I was just
Yeah.
like, I really wasn't sure what was going on with that because it's funny in my brain registered that the like boss guy was having trouble with his chair. I saw that it registered when it was happening, but when he like
Hmm.
threw the chair and started like kicking it, I was like, what on earth is he doing? Like, I'm like, this is a weird, act of
Hmm.
violence. And then I thought about it and it reminded me of like, you know, back before fancy televisions, your TV would act dumb or something like that, and you just like smack it a few times to get the picture to come back. Now I'm like
Hmm.
really proving my age here. But or like anything, like we use violence on things when they don't work properly. Um, I know like sometimes at work, if my chair is doing something weird, I will actually get the back of it and sort of lift it and shake it, which is not quite as violent as he was doing, but it's a similar sort of thing. And so I thought it was really interesting that he was like getting his rage out because clearly he's like super pissed in that moment. But it's like
Hmm.
he uses his anger in like a positive way, like he
Something.
fixed something. Yeah.
Hmm.
Um
Hmm.
but I also thought
That's interesting.
that's an interesting narrative too. Like this idea of being aggressive and using anger or like, um like what's the word, like, force to make something better or to make something work.
Mhm.
And I feel like that's going to be potentially their dynamic, where Day is like, pushes back, and Mock is either going to be he's either going to be really like chill and just do stuff, or he's going to shake
Mhm.
the shit out of him.
Mhm.
And I don't
Mhm.
necessarily mean like physically, but like,
Mhm.
well,
Mhm.
potentially, but definitely
Not
metaphorically.
be soft.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not treat him like everybody else is, which is that he's
Yeah, not
broken in
treat
some
him
way.
like as if he's going to break,
Yeah.
if at any touch or something.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
what?
Are we going to talk about the sister?
We can talk about her. What did you want to say?
I don't know. I was curious if you had something to say.
I don't really have much to say yet, because I guess I'm
No,
trying to.
what I wanted to say is what happened to her is she invested a lot, and then her dream, her like did not pay off, right?
Mm.
And she lost everything. That's why I understood. Like, I'm not sure. This is what happened, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Essentially, yeah.
And so she died.
Mm.
Was it something that she always wanted to do? Was that her dream?
Yeah.
Was
So
that
there's a
her
parallel
goal in
between her
life?
and Day. Yeah.
Yeah. Another thing that I think is nice is a nice moment. Before in this episode, when he was talking to his ex-girlfriend, I guess, and she asked him why he did not get hired, he said they're looking for someone clean. And when he goes to this interview, he's literally dirty on his face, on his clothes.
Mm.
He's dirty, literally.
The other thing I
He's
thought
not
was really
clean.
Yeah, the other thing I thought was really interesting is he also mentioned, they talked about the ankle bracelet, and she
Hmm.
said, "But I thought haven't you had that removed?" And he's, "Yeah, I guess some of them can still see it."
Yeah, it's
And
the same thing,
yeah,
done
it's
in
just
different ways,
it is,
basically.
yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like they're definitely using things in an interesting, like, language, and also the imagery.
Hmm.
It's all
Hmm.
very interesting. I'm also, of course, because I can't help it, like, dying to know what the reason is that he supposedly suddenly went blind, because it literally was very, there was no traumatic um like moment there. So I
Just
have like,
flashlights, as far as I
yeah,
remember, right?
I have a couple of like theories. One is that either something just like, you know, sometimes things go pop. That's not
In
a
your
medical term.
brain.
That's yeah, that's yeah, that's not a medical
Yeah,
term,
yeah.
but yeah, like
Oh,
I
yeah.
and or I'm actually wondering if it was something that was already degenerating. I think that's the right word.
Degenerate.
Because he, well, he was freaking out, but like in the beginning before they went out to play, he was clearly stressed or worried about something. And
Hmm.
then um when it all started to happen as well, like his mom wasn't freaking out quite the way I thought she should be. Like it was more like she was trying to calm him down, not like this wasn't
But
a huge
I don't
surprise,
know.
like a huge shock.
Maybe she was confused, or maybe she
Well,
was
she could
that's
be, but I wouldn't be surprised if we
you know,
find out.
sometimes when you see when someone freaks out and you kind of stay calm because you need to help them,
Oh
it
yeah,
might be
but
this. But
it
maybe
could
who
be.
knows?
It could be, but I
But
wouldn't
did
be
you know
surprised.
you said that they're using language and visuals interestingly to make this parallels and everything. Have you seen that post that I sent you from Tilomiki on Tumblr where they explained that the names also are interesting because Jimin's character is named Smog and it's basically means mist fog or misty foggy.
Mm,
It can also refer to color gray, and day is day,
mm,
and so they're kind of in reverse, named in reverse to what's happening to them, I
yeah,
guess, to their characters.
it's, yeah, one more way of playing with that imagery that we're getting. But
Yeah.
yeah, no, I did see the post. I remember thinking it was interesting.
Mm-hmm.
obviously did not respond for whatever reason. I
It's the
don't know.
same as with Salom and Kang. I mean,
Wind in the windmill.
yeah,
So maybe, and actually, okay, you may have just done something there that's interesting. We may be getting that Day will actually be the light in Jimmy's life,
yeah. That's what. Yeah, I mean, yeah.
and that like, and that Jimmy, or not Jimmy, Mork is going to help Day realize that it's not like his world is not completely dark. There's some gray there, and he'll help him navigate it or something. I don't know. It's like I feel like you might have done something there. We'll have to wait and see. But going back to the vision thing, just because as I said, it like interests me. I wouldn't be surprised if like one of two things happens. One, they just don't explain it. I think I mentioned that in our trailer reaction, because ultimately it probably won't be like, even though it's a huge part of the story, it's not going to be like
Mm-hmm.
something that we actually need to know this.
Mm-hmm.
Um, with my background, I'm just curious. I can't help but be curious. But I feel like I wouldn't be surprised if we do find out that it was something that was already like that it wasn't just a sudden thing, like it was something that was happening, and that like this moment was just like the moment where it just went like into that, like, I guess, point of no return.
Mm-hmm. The mom is a famous chief, apparently. So they have money.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought, well, the interviews with all the people there, like with their weird responses. But what I thought it was the funniest thing ever was that last guy that started crying, because he gives me meaning, and he blah 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 blah, and I'm like, this is literally what Mork is going to think. This is what Mork is going to feel regarding Day, and it's like the narrators are making fun of us in advance somehow, like they're mocking themselves.
I think also though, like yes, you're correct in that, but I also feel like, I mean, this guy is completely ingenuine, whereas obviously when
Yeah,
Mock
that's
has
obvious.
that, it's going to be like a legitimate thing that happens to them. But yeah, it's it is funny. I do think it's interesting. Like he's obviously trying to change, because um
Yeah,
it's interesting to
not
know, like,
drinking.
yeah, not drinking, and even the thing with the chair, which I, as I said, I absolutely love that bit, and I love how he
Hmm.
just like drags the guy and like sits him down and like pushes the lever so the chair goes down. Like the whole thing, just
Hmm.
it was perfectly acted. I thought he did a great job of it. Um,
Hmm.
and it's just, it makes me wonder if that had happened before his sister died and before he'd gone into jail and all the rest of it, if he would have reacted in a much more violent way, like just destroyed the chair. You know
Oh,
what I mean?
yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah. That's
So
probably what
so
would
even
have
though he was
happened.
still,
Like
yeah,
if she
even though
was
it
alive,
was, yeah, even though it was still
would
violent,
it
it
have?
was like restrained.
Yeah,
Um,
because he's
and
trying.
he's
He's
trying.
trying. He's trying so hard, but the society won't accept him.
Mm. And I thought it
Yeah,
was, there was
not
two.
giving not giving him a chance. And now Jay is going to give him a chance.
Mm-hmm. Well, their dynamic at the end of this scene, like I want to
Oh,
talk
that's
about a
very
couple of other. I
interesting.
want to yeah, I want to talk about a couple of other things, but the dynamic, like the way they were back and forth, and just, it's so
Mm-hmm.
funny because he clearly, Day is in that headspace where, he's terrified, but like he has this um front up where he's just like, nothing matters,
Uh-huh.
everything is like beneath him,
Mm-hmm.
like he's over this, like it's so unnecessary.
Mm-hmm.
He's just got this like mentality, so he's bored as batshit doing this. He does not care. He's like, they're all just saying like really
He
offensive
wants
shit or
he wants to
whatever.
fight someone. He
Yeah.
wants to find someone to challenge him, or like to
Mm,
give him, to light the fire inside him, because I feel like it's kind of dying or
yeah.
dead already.
And then it's like we had this moment where he basically pushes back against Smoke, where he's just like, "Oh, I didn't realize it was this kind of job or whatever," which is, he's like, obviously referring to um his sight
Yeah.
issues, and he takes Day takes his glasses off, and he's clearly like he's without focus because he can't, he knows probably roughly where Jimmy is, but he can't. I'm gonna keep using their real names instead of the character names until I got them down. But anyway, it's like he knows where he is in the room essentially, but he can't like focus on his face because he doesn't know his face is. But I feel like there's this like moment on Jimmy's part where he's just like, I guess I need to see more of the episode to be sure, but it's like, is it like a hint of attraction? Because he kind of just like stops and like just like pays attention to him, in a way that like it's like, like when someone takes off their glasses and suddenly they're like, it's like the whole like Superman Clark Kent thing. He takes off he's a nerd and then he takes off his glasses and all of a sudden he's like, wow. I kind of had like a little bit of that, but like in a serious way, not in a superficial way.
But he's a person. He saw the person behind the disability.
Yeah, actually, that's probably exactly what you're saying. Yeah, and which makes him intriguing, I guess, and more interesting because
and
of that.
His response, like the way he responded, he challenged him.
Yeah.
What, are you afraid of me?
Yeah,
and
exactly.
He's obviously not afraid of anything. Obviously, just as you said.
Yeah, and I'm thinking about like potentially what they're going to be doing with him and his ex-girlfriend, because obviously this is a BL, so we know that Jimmy's my voice, sorry, we know that Jimmy's character is going to end up with Day, hopefully, because we don't want a sad end. We don't like sad endings in this house. I don't accept sad endings.
I think they broke up already. Because
they did because she said that they're not the same, or he says to her, we're not the same as we were before. So they've definitely broken up. But I'm just saying, like, it's interesting that he had a girlfriend before. Or at least this was my thought process as I'm watching this. Like, but like bisexual people don't exist.
I'm sorry.
Says like I was thinking, like, oh, it's weird that he had a girlfriend before. And I'm like, hello, Zoe, bisexual people exist. Says the bisexual. Like I'm just like, this, you are one. But I was just like, in my mind, I was just like, oh, he had a girlfriend, and then she had a boyfriend, and I can see they're going to potentially do the like boy girl thing, and I'm just like, yeah, that's okay because bisexuals exist.
I love this. If we really go there, it's just perfect.
It's like the bisexual forgot that the bisexuals exist. It's all right.
I don't even know how to comment on this. I'm like, what's happening to you, Zoe? What is this?
I feel like it's okay. I feel like it's PC that I forget. But yeah, I loved the fact that we got Big Brother Mark. I'm like, do I buy Mark as Big Brother to see? I'm not sure yet. I feel like if you put them together, I'm curious actually I'm gonna go look and see how old they are in real life. But I feel like if you put them together, I would have said that C was older and not Mark. So I thought the casting. I mean, I love Mark. I think it's great. I'm like, yay, Mark. But I was. That sounded less than genuine, so but I like literally do mean yay Mark. But I thought it was a bit weird. I was like, oh, okay. I just assumed he was a friend when I saw him sitting there.
I did not have time to think about it.
Yeah. All right.
Let's go.
I'm looking at their ages because I'm curious. Hang on a sec.
So this is kind of a half reaction, half critical discussion, because I feel like we're not going to have a critical discussion. We're not going to have a critical discussion for this one yet, but this kind of is a critical discussion as well.
I feel like it'll be a bit of a mishmash to begin with. We'll see. We don't know what we're doing. We honestly don't know what we're doing at this point with this particular show. So, funny fact point for those who don't know, because I didn't know, and Marilla doesn't know. They are both 25. So they are like literally the same age. But yeah, so Mark in real life is June 2nd and C is April 13. So C is actually older. Yeah, they must be because Mark's character's name is Night. Night and Day.
Okay.
Film is playing Day's friend, not his sister. Why did I think she was his sister? I have no idea. Anyway, I'm clearly clearly a little bit confused. But anyway, we had a bit to say about the first part. Should we go and watch some more?
Part two.
Part two.
This series is so sad. What the fuck?
It's so fun. Well, I know it's not funny, but like you're like, it's so sad, and I'm just like, it's clever.
Yeah, well, yeah. But it's
The
sad. It's sad.
the line that Day says where he's like, I'm not that much different from a dead man, after Morg talks about taking his dead drunk friends home.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like, that gives you a perspective on his mindset. His life is over.
Yeah. And he
But
got
like also,
well
yeah,
trying to eat.
but also like not him asking Mark if he's hot. When he's like, tell me what you look like. Are you hot? I was like, okay, down boy.
Don't be shy. Are you hot?
Yeah.
He's so
Ballsy
bitter
and ballsy.
and defiant and
Yeah.
resentful of everything, and
Mm.
but at the same time, this thing that he does, there's so much desperation in
Oh yeah.
his face, and
Well, it's like,
Mock sees it, and Mock sees it. He sees it. He
yeah.
sees it. He sees through this facade how broken he is, and he feels sorry, and but he decided like to challenge him, fix him with force.
Yeah.
The way he just said it, like he does
I
not
feel like that's what he
pity him.
does. Yeah.
Mhm.
And I feel like you hit the nail on the head. In the first bit you were saying that like he sees him, like he's seeing past the disability,
Mhm.
like past his disadvantage, and like he's being seen as well, and I feel like also this challenge that he is like
Mhm.
probably the first time he's been interested in anything in like so long, that there's a spark in him. But I just, yeah, and then of course I got distracted because I'm still thinking about the fact that C and Mark are the same age and everything, and I'm like, maybe they're meant to be, maybe given that they're called night and day, they're meant to be
Zoe,
twins.
I think it's time for you to let it go. Just let it go. Let it go. Let's
I'm
focus
like,
on the stuff
what
that's
if
more
they're
interesting.
twins? I'm like, what if they're twins? It's trendy right now,
Maybe,
isn't it, to have twins?
maybe, yes. Every series must have a twins. The touch on the mouth, though, like, come on.
Yeah. That whole like, what did he say? About
I
saving.
don't even remember.
He says, his mouth is asking for bruises. You should save the money for the medical treatments.
Oh, yeah.
And I feel
He
like,
doesn't think he's, how do you say this, qualified for the job. I think this
mm,
is why he says no, basically.
the way he sort of treats the way he treats Day, because he calls him a spoiled brat, because basically that is kind of how he's acting.
Yeah.
And I feel like you get this glimpse of Mama, and she just looks kind of impressed a little bit. And I'm like, I'm having Dangerous Romance grandma vibes. I'm like, Mama, we'll see what happens with Mama, because I'm like, interesting.
C's acting is so good in this whole piece. Like it's just like I'm just like looking at him, like I'm so fascinated by everything, by everything he does with his face, with his expressions, with his voice. It's really, really interesting.
Well, it's really funny because, like, as I said, I watched a bit of Vice Versa, and I really didn't think much of him at all. Like, I kind of was like, you know.
Hmm.
Um, and I completely agree. I'm just, yeah,
Maybe
it's
maybe his
fascinating.
character was kind of plain there or something, but this one is
Maybe.
really, really
Interesting.
curious. I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued by the character.
So
Very
I have,
sassy somehow.
sorry.
Sassy.
Oh yeah, he's sassy, yeah. But it's all a facade. Like, it's all just an
Yeah,
act.
it is, but you need to have, like, you need to have a bit of that in yourself, like a little bit of that in your personality in order to act like this wall.
Mm. I feel like as well that it's a good indication that he's a fighter because
Hmm.
it's like he's lashing out a little bit, so there's a bit of that in it. But I was thinking about it like while this is going on, and he's like basically he's it's like it was like he was running an auction, like 2 times the amount of money, 3 times the amount of money, 4 times the
10
amount of money.
times.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I was like, oh, rich boy, poor boy. Now where have we seen that recently? And
I
and
told you, I told you, I thought that there's something about like the dynamics from Dangerous Romance, but twisted somehow in
mm,
this series.
well, it's like I feel like it's interesting because I feel like the rich boy is going to end up being the poor boy, and the poor boy will end up being the rich boy. And what I mean by that is that he essentially is like he has everything, but he's losing the thing that he values the most. So
Most, yeah.
he's going to be poor, right? And
Hmm.
and then you've got the poor boy who has nothing essentially. He has no job, he has no future, he's no family.
No
He does,
goals.
yeah, no goals. Is going to become very rich in like his relationships, and just everything is going to get better for him. So hopefully they'll be able to meet in the middle, but we're definitely going to have this moment, I think, where the rich boy is poor and the poor boy is rich.
Hmm.
Um, so and then I thought it was interesting because we totally talked in the first bit about, oh, he's changing, he's quit drinking, and then like he's like, stay and have a beer with me, and I'm just like, okay, so he's
Who proposed? Who suggested the drink last time to him? Maybe he just didn't want to drink with
I
them.
I think he was no, it was her. She gave him
It
the
was
drink
her?
last. Yeah, yeah. So I feel like it was his way of just keeping her around longer. I don't know whether he would have actually drunk it or whether he was just like
Maybe.
trying to,
But I think
yeah,
he's still trying to change. This is what's happening
yeah.
anyway. Like,
And let's face it, when we quit things, we don't always stick to it straight away too. But then he comments on about her leaving him for her new boyfriend, and I was like, okay, well then that scratches my original theory as well about her and
what if
Phil.
what if she has a thing for bad boys and this guy that she's with is trouble and she's going to get in trouble somehow because of him?
Well, could be, could be. I mean, the other thing is, I did say before, I didn't actually say that we were necessarily going to get her and Phil have a relationship, but that I
But I
thought they would
want
have
that. I
interact.
want
You're like, I want it, give it to me. I feel like they'll have interactions and scenes together. I don't. It could be because usually, let's face it, in these sorts of dramas, there's always a secondary couple. Sometimes there's more than one, and
that. Hmm.
really, besides them, the only other potential at this point in time is Mark's character to have a like a be a secondary romance or whatever.
Hmm.
Um, and at the moment he's very two-dimensional. So I feel like we're getting more from her than we are from him. But that could change. It's like literally only like 2 parts of the first episode.
And
Um,
then we have the thing with the car. I feel like is not he's avoiding facing this part of himself and this part of his life. And
hmm. I feel like the
what
car's
do you
going to
think?
become like his talisman. Like he's going to um look, okay, I'm gonna call it right now. I will not be surprised if at some point in the future of this drama, um, he takes Day and they go on like a road trip in that car.
I was like, is Day going to buy the car for him?
Mm.
I mean, he
I
needs money, right? Well, it's not buy, but maybe he buys the car. Maybe he pays for the car. Maybe he buys the car.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I I thought it was I like it's interesting. Well, not interesting, but I think it's nice that we're seeing that, even though him and the girlfriend aren't together, she's clearly in his corner. Like he has good people who care about him. The guy
Hmm.
from the car place, like
Oh, yeah.
I get the impression that maybe he was the sister's friend or something because he's clearly meant to be a bit older, I think. Um,
Hmm.
and so, but like these people care about him, so he has people who care about him, and so does
Hmm.
Day. He has his family. Like they both have people who care about them, which in this world is like the first step to being successful, essentially.
Hmm.
um when so many people have not like absolutely nobody, like they have that if nothing else. um but yeah, so I'm calling a future scene where like they take off, and it's
Well,
in that
that's
car.
quite obvious. That's of course that's going to happen, Zoe.
Oh, look! Don't ruin
You're
my
something.
predictions. I thought I was doing something
Going
there.
to
Okay.
play a big part in the series at some point.
Oh yeah, I think so too. Um, and
And she
I
was saving money for his tuition fee, his sister. She did not fix the car
yeah,
because saving money for him.
that's right. And I'm like, oh, I'm just having feelings all over the place. These siblings.
I guess she was his caretaker, and he did not really care about anyone. He
Mm,
did not
well,
take care of anyone
and
his whole life.
he didn't care for himself anyway.
And himself, yes, as
Yeah.
well.
So I totally got taken out of the drama for a little bit though with the conversation about like, have you heard anything about his eye donation?
I don't know.
Eye donation. I was like, eye donation? I feel like there's something was lost in translation there.
Does someone need the pair of eyes?
someone's
Help
just
me.
gonna someone's just gonna be like, here, I'm not using these are my spare ones. Can you take them from me? I'm just
Yes,
like, it's such a weird, it was such a weird, like, you know,
donation.
yeah. And it's funny because if the sister had still been alive and we'd had that comment, I was like, I would have been like, oh, she's gonna die and she'll end up with his eyes. Because that's what happens in like a lot of romance sort of like things.
Who's dying and giving him the eyes? Is it the
Exactly.
brother? Who is it?
Maybe nobody, but it's just like I was like, but just the terminology "eye donation," I was just like, yeah, I'm pretty sure that's like. Anyway, it totally pulled me out of the drama for a second because I started
I
laughing. I
hope
was like,
no one donates their eyes to him in this drama.
I know, right? And then of course we get the whole scene where the lift opens and they come face to face with each
I
other, and
guess
it's like I could hear you saying yes because Zoe, it's fate.
he's going to get lost, and maybe Mark is going to follow him or find him or help him.
Yeah, yeah, because we don't know if he interacts with him because he can't see him, and
No,
well,
he
and
won't
he,
recognize him. I don't think
yeah,
Mark is going to talk to him right now,
yeah,
anyway.
yeah. So you think he's just gonna like silently observe him?
Yeah, and maybe we won't even see that he observes him at some point. I don't know. Like, I
Mm.
guess we'll see, but he's going to get lost. I think. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. It's so sad. It's sad. It's sad.
And I mean, this is the thing, isn't it? They've both got something. They're both suffering a loss.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, obviously very different losses, but they're both
Hmm.
suffering a loss at this moment. So essentially, they can sympathize with each other if they can get to that point
Hmm.
because they're both going through something really like quite life altering, painful, devastating, sad, to use your word.
Thank you. Thank you so much for using my word. I
But
really
yeah.
appreciate it. It's so
Well,
nice hearing you come from you. Hearing it come from you.
that it's so sad. So sad.
Yes, yes. Say it more.
Okay, it just got weird. All right.
Okay,
Okay.
all
So,
right.
should we do
Just
part three?
yeah.
Should we go to
Let's
part
go.
three? All right.
Let's go watch part
Just
three.
before it gets even, just in case it gets even weirder.
Don't
All
worry.
right. We'll save the weird for the last part. All right. Okay. Wow. Okay, that was such a short part, and yet, but like, wow, so angry. I really like the pacing. I think they've done a really good job at the way they've edited this episode, like the splits in it.
Mhm, mhm,
Um, because this felt kind of very like um fraught and like um the shortness of the fact that it was only like 7 minutes or something was like I felt like it really fit with the what was happening.
Because everything is escalating. It's very
Yeah. It was like getting exactly. Perfect. So do we have we talked about this? I think I vaguely remember. So who do we know who's like the director and that for this?
B-I-A-F.
Oh, the same guy that did Bad Buddy?
Bad Buddy, yeah. I hope I'm
Yeah.
pronouncing it right. If not, I'm really,
Payoff.
really
I
sorry.
think it's payoff, I think, but maybe I could be wrong. Um yeah, I feel like I can feel that. It has a quality to it that is just a little bit different. But like in a really good way. So I love when he is watching Day, like he's learning him or something.
Studying him. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like
Huh?
really interesting. Like just that the bit in the lift and everything. And then of course, like he
Of
drops his library card because, fate.
course. Yes.
um and then of course we got the explanation about the car accident.
Yeah, he was like, you got your answer, Zoe.
Yes, and I was right too. He it happened beforehand, so he knew it was like getting worse. That's why Mum wasn't so surprised. Why she was trying to calm him down because she knew already.
Mhm. And the librarian is smarter than Knight. She said transplant, not
Yeah,
donation.
she said cornea transplant instead of eye donation. Yeah, I'm like, I was so happy to hear the
Keep
words
saying
cornea.
donation.
Yeah, I was so happy to hear the words cornea transplant because the eye donation was just. I mean, essentially, that's
Knight,
kind of what
Knight
it
is
is.
like, no one wants to donate their eyes to you, Day.
Well,
No
I
one
mean,
loves you.
you can only get a cornea transplant from somebody who's dead. Like, you can't give a cornea transplant. Like, you
Yeah,
need your
that's
corneas.
clear.
Yeah, I think the only time you can give one is if so say someone had a tumor in the back of their eye or something, and they had to have the eye removed anyway. They might
Mm-hmm.
if the cornea wasn't affected with like the tumor or whatever, you could potentially donate that.
Mm-hmm.
But you you normally that happens after someone has passed away already. And funnily enough, I was making a joke about eye donations because I'm like, that's not something that people do. Like even like, you know, I was like, you don't put an eye in like a whole eyeball in someone new. But
Mm-hmm.
apparently they've actually just done that. they
What?
they've just done that like in New York or somewhere like that, like in the last, whatever, they've just done their first successful eye, like full on eye transplant. And I was just like, oh, okay. And I was making a joke about how you can't do it. Apparently you can. It's a new thing.
I'm sorry. Do you mean from an alive person that's alive?
I don't know. I didn't read the news article. I just it
Because I
must be
just
because
know.
I'm like
Oh, I
everybody's.
didn't even. I thought it was possible. I thought it's something that's being done actually.
No, they just do like your corneas and things like that. So just like the little film that goes over the eye and that.
Mm-hmm,
Um,
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
but yeah, and it's funny because we're talking about it, and I swear, like, everyone's listening, or everybody's listening because I literally opened my notes app, and there's like a banner down the bottom, and this news story was about the first successful eye transplant, and I was just like, okay, Google's listening.
Mm-hmm.
But that's a whole other podcast.
Google,
That's a
but
podcast.
Google listening.
That's not a critical one. That's a paranoid one. But yeah, um,
That one will be also drunk and hysterical.
yeah, they're all listening to us. So yeah, and so basically we find out that he had this car accident, and I'm like, there is way too much like animosity between him and his brother, and like
Uh-huh.
was like Knight driving. That's like I'm like leaning towards that Knight was driving the car.
I don't know, because it's so the relationship right now. It's so complicated. I don't know what the source of that must be,
Well,
because
I feel it would make sense if his brother was driving the car, he gets out unscathed, like he's fine. Meanwhile, you know, Day's like whole life is destroyed. I don't think it was a
wait,
car
but
he was.
maybe what if like I don't know
Yeah, because I don't think
him
it's a.
driving?
I don't think it's a car that Day was driving, because Day says that they're in this scene that they're driving in his car, like that Knight is driving Day's car. So um, you would assume car accident serious enough to damage his corneas and things like that.
I
They're
didn't
probably
think I didn't think of the idea that Knight drove his car. Right now, I kind of doubt it, and I can't really explain why, but the way they interacted made me like, I don't know. I feel like Day would not be as antagonistic with Knight if Knight was the one who drove the car. I feel like they'd leave this for later, for
yeah.
this outburst
I don't know.
happen.
That's my theory at this point because there
Hmm.
is nothing else I can think of that fits. Because
I feel
really,
like they need
otherwise,
this like this tension between them and just unspoken things, and then at some point, I don't know, but who knows? It's
mm,
interesting.
it's early. It's early on, but once again, I would not be surprised if this
But
animosity
also,
is because he
he
drove.
was not wearing he was not wearing the seat belt, and he didn't want to wear the seat belt. I guess he doesn't really care about his
No,
life
he
anymore.
doesn't. He doesn't value his life anymore. It has no
Yeah,
value to him. I mean,
and he doesn't
he
want to accept
yeah, he literally said, like, in the last part, not the last part, but
he's
like
a
the
dead
second
man.
part, yeah, I'm not that much different from a dead man. Like, as far as he's concerned, his life is over already, which is funny because he then, when he's angry with his brother, says, I'll be fine soon and it'll be all okay. Where, like, so somewhere he's lying to himself. And
And he doesn't want. Yeah.
I'm inclined to think that him thinking he's going to get better is the lie.
Yeah, and he doesn't want to accept Knight as a custodian. Well, their interactions kind of made me feel like maybe they had a conflict or something, and maybe Knight was the unsuccessful one between the two of them, and now, they lost everything, and Knight is the successful one between the two of them, and now this is like maybe
Mm.
Day thinks Knight is happy that he doesn't have to envy him anymore or something like this.
Yeah, he's
This is
not
what
his
I got
competition or whatever. Yeah. I
from
mean,
their
it does
interaction.
read that way because he sort of says to him something along the lines of that. So it does
Mhm.
fit. But yeah, I also wouldn't be surprised if that, like, the reason behind his car accident is something to do with Night. As I said, just because
Yes,
they're
something to
driving.
do with Knight. Yes, something to do with Knight, but with Knight driving the car, I would be surprised if this is what happened. This is
Mm,
what they're doing.
mm. I guess we'll find out if we keep watching. Hey.
Yeah. Hmm.
um.
They said really cruel words, very harsh words to each other. Like
Oh yeah.
no one no one
Yeah.
will care about you. You will have to rely on me, Day, because
Yeah.
that's just yeah.
And the fact that he's like, it's really interesting because you've got Day who's saying, I keep saying it's really interesting, but it's because I think it's really interesting. um every time I hear myself say it's really interesting, I'm like, choose a different phrase, Zoe. um anyway, it is really interesting, I think, how um Day is like so um angry at the idea of Knight looking after him. And Knight is obviously frustrated and everything, but and he's so adamant about that this is the right path, but you can tell that he doesn't really want to. Like, I feel like
Hmm.
it's not that he's like, this is not what he wants to be doing. Like, it's not, he's not taking any joy out of this situation. Um
It's like I got this sense that like as if Day thinks Knight is trying to take over his life.
oh yeah, yeah, for sure. And I
Like,
feel like,
feeling like get out of my car, so
yeah.
possessive over
Mm-mm.
his stuff, and it's like
Well, because
maybe
he's
Knight
losing
wanted that.
everything. Yeah,
Maybe
he's
Knight
losing.
what? Maybe Knight actually wanted that, and maybe he
Maybe.
expressed that today, and now he just regrets it.
Mm.
Maybe if he's a good person, because
I
that's
feel
just
like,
awful.
yeah, I feel like this is another reason why I thought maybe he might be driving the car, because there is definitely a feeling of guilt in the way that
Hmm.
he's like adamant over the fact that he needs to take care of him, or this is how it's going to be. This is what's going to happen.
Hmm.
And yet
Hmm.
it's so 100% clear to us, and I also feel today, that he doesn't actually
Hmm.
want to do that. That's not
Yeah,
like, yeah, but it's an
which makes
obligation. It's an
Day even
obligation.
angrier.
Yeah.
But maybe he's not guilty, but the fact that he wants to take care of Day while Day feels so, you know, powerless and like not in control of his life, and he senses that Night doesn't want to be taking care of him, and it makes
Mm.
him even more, you know, even
Angry.
angry and feeling
Well,
even
because
worse.
you would feel like a burden and everything, and because
Yeah,
it just, even the like
that's why he lashes out.
exasperated, yeah, the exasperated way that like Knight is like, has a sort of a go at him when they're in the library, like, why are you, what are you
Mhm,
doing, you know, like, you're making my life harder, like that is
mhm.
the impression that he
Yeah,
gave
yeah,
me.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So,
It's just
and
that
then,
the last thing that Day what needs to hear in this
exactly,
situation.
yeah,
Yeah.
he would already feel like a burden, like this whole thing
Which
is
I
like,
just feel like I just feel like Knight wouldn't be saying these things if he was the reason why they, like, directly the reason why they lost his sight.
I don't know, because like I feel like that's where the obligation's coming into it. This like need to, you know, obviously to have a complicated relationship. I think we'll just have to
Hmm.
wait and see what the story is
All
with
right,
that.
let's see. Let's see. And
But
it's, of course, it's me. It's the AC guy. It's me. Hi.
yeah, it's me, the AC guy. Yeah, I thought that
I'm
was really funny too.
sorry.
I was like, oh, look, we have another savior for a rich boy, but like it's the opposite. It's the reversal. The poor boy saving the rich boy. Um,
It's the
yeah,
same with
twisted.
his twisted.
It is the same as twisted, yeah. And then he is like, I just felt like he was gonna be there. I mean, obviously, you know, that's the natural progression, I guess.
Yep.
We needed him to be the savior. But wasn't quite expecting the scene to go. I was expecting him to be in a car or something, but obviously he probably doesn't have a car. He did say I have my bike here, so
Mhm. Mhm.
that tracks. But yeah, I love the bit because in the trailer we saw the scene where Day does the thing with his like, oh sorry, Mock does the thing with his hand, because he says about like the distance to like what he can kind of see or something.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he gets really close to, like, he does the
Yeah.
distance
Yeah.
thing,
Yeah.
he gets really close, and he says to him,
Mhm.
don't you want to see what I look like? And he
Yeah.
basically just did, like, in this moment here, they're about that distance away from each
Yes. Yes.
other, and he
Yes.
sort of sees him, I guess, as clear as he can.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, he already knows you, like, at that point
Mhm.
he's already, like, I guess, like, checked out is the wrong word, but
He knows
I
your
feel
heart.
like
Kind
I
of
feel like,
knows your kind
yeah,
of heart. I guess.
I feel like essentially he's basically already checked him out. But it's just, yeah, they just that close in that scene. Um, and how he's just like, you know, it's me, you know, do you need to go somewhere? Like, it's just, I'm like, were you following him? Like, what are you like, how far are you going to follow him? Did he not give back the library card? Did he forget? Like, is he still holding it? I'm just like, oh, anyway. I really,
Yeah.
I really just was just, that whole bit just happened, really was like machine gun quick, but it all kind of
Mhm.
worked really, really well.
Mhm. Mhm. Part four.
Thoughts?
Yeah. I am hooked.
It's so funny. It's so funny. I'm just like, yay!
What do you mean?
No,
You're
I'm
happy that
just
I'm hooked?
sorry.
Are you happy that you're hooked?
I'm
Are you
happy.
happy, happy that we're hooked? Hooked? Hooked?
Hooked. How many times are you gonna say? Yes, yes. I'm glad. I feel the same. I'm interested. Definitely interested. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I liked the way it ended. Um I liked the references and the tie-in to the Little Prince. Do you know the story of the Little Prince?
Yes, I know the story. It's really cute. And it's
It
fate again because he picked obviously his favorite book because he knows it
mm,
by memory. How do you
yeah.
say it?
Yeah, he's
How do you-
memorized it. Yeah.
He knows it word by word, and he's obviously the prince. And uh, Ka wait, what Mork is the untamed fox,
Yes.
and it's only with the heart that one can see rightly.
Yeah. The thing is though, like the little prince, like I have mixed feelings um whenever this is used as like a
Mhm.
metaphor in a story like this, because yeah, there's like I mean it's basically it's basically like um you know, a book that addresses themes of loneliness and stuff like that, friendship,
Mhm.
love, loss,
Mhm.
all the things that, obviously this drama is going to do. But I'm always wary because, especially because if Day is the little prince and Mork is the untamed fox, they
Mhm.
don't stay together, they part.
That's interesting.
Mm. So, because um, so it's interesting the thing though, because um as I said, the little prince, when he meets the fox, he feels like lost and that he's not great anymore. He used to think he was great, now he thinks he's not great. And so the fox comes along when he's like at his lowest, basically.
Mhm.
And then the fox who is untamed, he desires to be tamed, which is like a great um imagery for Mog's character.
Mhm.
And he teaches the prince how to tame him. Um,
But I'm curious. Did he love this story before he got, you know, issues with his vision, or did he get obsessed with it once he lost his vision?
mm,
Because if
I
he
don't.
lost his vision and he got obsessed with this story, this is basically the only way he sees his story ending.
Mm,
And that would like explain why he liked Mork.
mm,
But he thinks, even like, if this is something that he feels is where that it's something that he can relate himself to, it's kind of like he doesn't see a good ending to his story,
mm,
and they need to change that. They need to make him understand that there is a good, for him to find meaning in his life. They need to rewrite the story, the Little
mm,
Prince story.
mm. So basically, yeah, basically he, because once he tames him, like it's so interesting too, because the fox is this ordinary creature
Mm-hmm.
like on Earth, but he
Mm-hmm.
becomes unique and special when, because he's unique and special to the little prince. So
Mm-hmm.
it's so interesting because it's like that's gonna be them. Um but yeah, as I said in the main story, like I can't remember, I think the fox leaves.
Mm-hmm.
Um because like it's like the idea of like being with it's okay, he's like reminding me of Dangerous Romance again. Sorry. Because this whole like idea of like this intense feeling and connection, and but like when you leave it's like a lesson, because like sadness and longing happen when you're apart from that person. um
Mm-hmm.
but it's interesting because the um as you said, like the fox gives that, before he leaves he does that, imparts the secret, about the important things can only be seen with the heart and not with the eyes quote.
Mm-hmm.
um that's obviously going to be like a huge theme of this. um
Mm-hmm. It's something that this is even something that's being said in the trailer, I think.
yeah.
This is a line from the trailer.
So, and it's like I'm just I'm anticipating there'll be a what I mean, we know because it's like standard BL like culture to basically have an episode where for one reason or another they're not together anymore. So this is going to be a moment where like the fox leaves the little prince essentially for whatever reason.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but yeah, I did. As I said, I both liked the parallels because they fit very well. The
Mm-hmm.
untamed fox that wants to be tamed. Um,
But also, there's the rose, right, in the
yeah.
story.
Sorry.
The
Yeah,
rose is always also in the story.
yeah. But the rose is like his first love, and so the rose could actually represent like his sport, honestly,
Mm-hmm.
because he that thing like initially, I believe it's a year
Just
since I
you know,
it's years since I've read this story, but I believe like the he feels tricked by the rose because he thought the rose was unique and special, and then he
mm-hmm.
realized it was like not. This was not a thing that was like there
Mm-hmm.
were
Mm-hmm.
roses, plenty of roses everywhere. But the
Mm-hmm.
fox teaches him that because he loved the rose, it was special and it meant something. So he may his sport and all the rest of that, like his past, future goals, whatever, may get he may get to a point where he's like deeply depressed or something and defeatist because of everything, and like the stuff that used to mean so much to him no longer means anything to him. And it may be that Mork takes is the one that reminds him that like just because.
Maybe it's not. Maybe it's in reverse. You know, if you think about it, you can apply this story in reverse as well, with Mark being the little prince and with Day being the fox.
But still, ultimately, if it follows track for the original fable, then they're still not together, and the little prince like goes off and basically dies alone, like he gives up essentially. he
Maybe the
lets the
fox.
he lets the
Yeah,
snake bite him, I think, from memory. There's a
but yeah,
snake.
they need to rewrite this. I don't like this. Just this story just gets more and more depressing. Like what the fuck?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like this is the thing. Maybe this is the path that they're on now. Like maybe this is the
Yeah,
path.
because
And
this is how they feel right
you
now. This
said
is
there's like
because
this.
they're yeah.
Yeah, you said there's like this parallels between Day's character and Mork's sister's character and how like defeated they are. And she chose this path, and at the moment Day is on maybe Day is on a similar path with his like the way he's like talking like he's already
Hmm.
dead, not wearing his
Hmm.
seatbelt, not valuing his own life. Like all these things are lend more to him being the little prince
But
because.
listen, if this story ended well, he would not be as obsessed with it right now with the way he feels. You know, this is what why it calls to him. This is what he relates so much.
Yeah. And then
If
of
you, it
course,
was
sorry, keep going.
yeah, no, okay,
You were gonna say something, say it.
no, that's it.
Um, and then of course we had Mum, and I'm like, I'm so upset about Mama because she's just like now she's acting like all like a big snob, and like, why would you let this dirty person into my house? Because I said dirty because you said dirty before a lot, like about how he was unclean a lot, and I just felt like I wanted to say it. But how she said like, how can he take care of you or whatever, and I'm like, listen here, lady, he already been doing that. I mean, you know, here's his library card. He brought him home safely. He's already been taking care of him. Like it's fine. Um, and I liked the way it ended. I like the way he made him come to him. It's like,
No, no. Before that, I love the long take of where they film mm, Jimmy's face while he's exiting the house, and the camera is focused on his face. It's a one long take, and he
mm,
walks away, and the music is like telling you that something very important is happening right now, and you can see everything happen, all these emotions on his face, like he's thinking it through, like what he's been experiencing up until now is that the world was not giving him chances, and
mm,
now here's a chance. Someone is giving him a chance. He just needs to grab this
mm,
opportunity. Yeah, so you can see him deciding, changing his decision, and actually regretting going away. And then he's like, no, you know what? I'm going back. And we
yeah,
get the flashbacks as well. So I love that shot very much.
okay. I'll have to rewatch it, I think. Um, But yeah, I loved, as I said, I love that he made him come to him, because if we're following along with this like narrative of, okay, so he gets him to pick a book. He picks a book. He picks
Mm-hmm.
the Little Prince. They both know it. Obviously, it's like a favorite. We tend to pick books that we either like or that we know really, really well. So the fact that
Mm-hmm.
that's the book that Mock picks is probably indicative of that. Like that's how he feels about the book, and then we obviously know that Day likes it because he's memorized it, right? So
Mm-hmm.
at this particular moment, their path they're on, are they like the Little Prince and the Fox? And then he says to him, like he tries to offer him the job. He's like, thanks, but no thanks, and tries to leave. Um, and so then we have the scene that you're talking about, and then when he comes back, he makes him come to him, and I feel like the,
And they
the
exchange these looks. It's like they get each other,
but I
and it's
also
like,
like, I feel like that this making him come to him thing is like a metaphor for the fact that not see that Day is now, it's the first steps on a new path.
yeah, it's like a promise of what's to come. Like
And
Mockiness
so,
is not just going to let Day give up on himself and do nothing. He's going to make him leave,
mm,
to
and
force
hope,
him to live his life,
yeah,
actually, not
and hope,
just do
and
nothing.
hopefully that this will be like a step on a path that doesn't lead to the tragedy. I mean, it's interesting. I'll
Why
be
would you
curious to
say
know
this
what.
right now? Come on. We were
I
so
mean,
hopeful. Everything was going great, and now you have to say this.
no, but this is
Did
what I
you
mean.
really
I
have
think
to?
it's I think it's positive. I think that this is a positive thing. Like, I think if they hadn't had this scene, I would have been really concerned about this, using the Little Prince as a metaphor for this drama. I would be like, oh crap, I don't know that I want to watch it because I don't know it's going to end well. But the fact that they do this, and I feel like it's a positive thing, so I feel okay about it. It'd be interesting to see, because like if anyone, what other people are saying about the use of the Little Prince in this, because different people think of that story in different ways. A lot of people think it's like
Do you
sweet
know what I
story
realized?
and whatever, but I always thought it was like kind of a tragedy.
I had remember almost nothing from this story. I just remember that like there was something about an elephant being swallowed
Yeah, a
by
boa
a
constrictor or
snake or
something.
something.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I know. It's like a completely random, like, in certain
Yeah,
bits, but it's
yeah,
actually very insightful about human behavior and stuff like that.
yeah.
Human nature, rather,
I
not human
remember
behavior.
I remember really liking it when I was little, but I don't remember. It's like I remember mostly nothing.
Yeah,
I know I
it's
have a French.
actually.
I know I have an example. Like I have an edition in French with the original drawings at home.
Mm.
I wish I was here. I'd look through it. I loved it. I'll ask my mom to send it to me.
Yeah, but
I
yeah,
also
it's
love how his mom watching all this going on. Like his brother is happy.
yeah. Well, his brother's
Which is
like,
like,
now I don't have to deal with this.
uh-huh.
Um,
And the mom is like, what the fuck is going on? She's so unsure. Like she doesn't
yeah,
know what to think about it.
yeah.
She's not she's not on the same wavelength as they are.
She's not there yet. No.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but it's just, yeah, I feel positive about the way it ended. But as I said, I'm curious to know. I would be curious to know what other people think about the use of it, because, as I said, I've seen lots of people have really different interpretations about like the way the story ends, about whether it's a positive thing, if it's a negative thing. I mean, there are
But,
lessons that are learned that are positive, but I always thought it was really like super tragic. So, you know.
well, who knows? Look, as I said, like right now, he wouldn't really be as obsessed with this story and feel like he's a part of the story if he didn't, you know, like if it's a tragic story, if he sees it as a tragic story and he thinks his life is tragic right now, it really makes sense that he, associates, relates to the character so
Mm.
much.
And
He
this is,
like,
yeah, I will be like, I feel like I will be concerned, but I also feel like I'll probably be okay because we had this little scene right at the end here. But I feel like if he in this story for whatever reason, if when he's gets to the point where he's like basically like he's lost his sight or he's about to lose his sight, like for real, which I think is where we're
Mm-hmm.
gonna end up.
Mm-hmm.
And he disappears on Mork, I feel like he's gonna freak because that's basically like the little prince disappears. I think like the old man's looking for him, but he basically goes and like dies alone. So given
Maybe
Mork's
this
history,
happens. Maybe this happens, but he finds him.
yeah, I think so too. But I'm just like, given his history, he will freak. I think because like
Mm-hmm.
it'll scare the crap out of him, and
Mm-hmm.
he'll if this is where they're going, like by using this, they may not. This may be like we once
You know
again
what?
like I
Maybe it's like,
reading too much into
remember
it.
remember the scam Norway story about Isaac and Evan.
Mm,
Remember how there were so many references to Romeo and Juliet, and so but towards the end he kind of makes this remark that, oh, you will do this and you'll think it's a Romeo and Juliet reference, and then you'll understand, you'll see me all like with in the tux or with the flowers or blah blah blah, not in the tux, naked, and you realize it's actually a Pretty Woman reference, you know. And maybe they're doing this, and in the end it will actually transform into something else, or they will break free of these roles and become someone else.
mm. Yeah, I think so. And as I said, we could just be like reading too much into it, and they're just purely and simply using it for this scene to show that there's a connection, they understand each other a little bit,
Well,
and it's a shared like, and all that sort of stuff.
I think it would be nice for them to, they will use the Little Prince reference
I think
again,
so as well.
because
I feel like it's too
this
um
is a setup.
yeah, I feel like it's too well known. Like it's like I think it's like the second most translated book in the world, like after the Bible. Like it's in so many different languages. So
Really?
I feel like yeah, it's really
Second
really
most
like
translated?
I think so, like something like that. It's really really like been translated a lot, and it's yeah. I had no idea it was so big. Like I didn't read it as a kid. I read it as an adult. So maybe that's why I see it as a tragedy as well. Maybe kids are way more hopeful than adults are. I don't know.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, I do think it's interesting, and if they do use it, I feel like if we get a scene where he disappears and Mock
Mm-hmm.
remembers that like this is a story that he like loves, or um as you said, like sees himself in, I feel like he'll
Mm-hmm.
freak
Mm-hmm.
because of the connotations of and his history with
Mm-hmm.
his sister and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And as you said,
So
like
yeah.
he'll
Ooh,
make it.
ooh, yes, yes,
Yeah,
for sure. Oh, yeah. It's like, yeah, this will happen for sure at
yeah.
some point,
So So
especially
anyway,
considering his history
there's
with
a
his
few.
sister.
I Zoe's put a few predictions out there, so we'll see what happens. But
Yeah.
yeah, I'm definitely interested. This I feel like we're gonna have plenty to talk about.
Yep.
Hmm.
I guess we're not having a critical discussion for this one, but let's see.
No, well, we're kind of
Um,
having a reaction slash critical discussion all in one. You get a
yeah,
two
yeah.
for one, 2 for 1
Yes.
free with purchase. But yeah, so I feel like mm,
I'm really curious. Like we did not see much of C's character up until now, but I'm intrigued by him. I'm very curious to see where I want to know who he was. Like I want to know, you know, stuff that's not about his disability. Like I want to know,
mm,
because a lot of the stuff from this episode is about his disability, is about how he feels about it. We saw glimpses of the real him, but not much.
we got a lot more information about Mark than we did about Day, and I
Yes,
was at one hand I
this
was
is
like
from
really
his point of view, mainly.
yeah, I
Mainly
was
on
yeah,
my point of
I
view
was
again.
really kind of yeah, I was really kind of surprised by that because as I said in the original pilot trailer, one of the reasons why I was a bit like about this drama is I don't remember. It's funny, I keep meaning to go and look for the trailer, and because I feel like I'm
Mhm.
gonna watch it and then laugh at myself because maybe there was stuff in there and I just don't remember it. But I feel like we didn't get much from his point of view. Like I think it was more sea heavy.
Mhm.
Um,
Mhm.
and so, or rather more day heavy. And so I remember thinking at the time, like, it seemed very two-dimensional, like one-sided romance. Like, it's not to say that I didn't think that Jimmy had feelings or whatever. It's just like I felt no connection to him besides the
Mm-hmm.
fact that he was, like, looking after this person who he obviously falls in love with or whatever. Like, it didn't have any depth to me. So when we were first initially talking about watching this, I wasn't overly excited about it because
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't imagine having much to say.
Mm-hmm.
um but then when we saw the trailer and we got so much more of his backstory and all the rest of it, I was like, yeah, I was intrigued, I was interested. And then, of course, then tonight's episode, we had these glimpses of that in the trailer, but I had no idea we were going to get this backstory and that with his sister, and that was going to be part of his trauma.
Mm-hmm.
And that's part of the reason why he's angry, I think. It's just, it's only a
He's,
part of it.
I
It
think right
started much
now
earlier, I think.
he's kind of numb. He's not allowing himself to feel
Oh, for sure.
stuff.
He's like, it's like, he's like a pot that's slowly, like, simmering, and it's
Mm-hmm.
just waiting to get to the boil. Like,
Yeah,
he's not there yet, but like there's this
avoiding.
untapped, untamed. Yeah, I can imagine, like, them having a huge fight at some point because, like, he gets really frustrated with Day, or something happens and he gets really, really angry, and he unleashes in a way that, like, he hasn't been doing. um
Mm-hmm.
and maybe that's what prompts Day, like, to, like, leave, or maybe he unleashes after he finds Day, that whole, like, release of relief when you think the worst, and then everything's building up, building up, building up inside, and then it's over, and then you just explode a little bit. Like, I feel
Mm-hmm.
like, it's a bit like that when when parents yell at their kids because something scary just happened, and sometimes it's like a little bit over the top, like they are, like, maybe they're maybe
Yeah, just
chastising
like
their children too much, but like 10% of that is like absolute blind terror of what could have happened.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So, but yeah, I'm interested to see as well. Besides finding out more about Day, I would be really interested to see eventually, because I feel like we're going to learn about Day as Mock learns about Day, which makes sense to
Mm-hmm.
me.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm curious to see how they show Day learning about Morg, because at the moment he is actually not just literally, but he is kind of blind. Like, he's going to be quite self-absorbed for a bit, I think, because
Mm-hmm.
this huge thing is distracting him. So is he going to
Mm-hmm.
see that? And as you said, you could be right. It could be flipped. Maybe Day is not the little prince. Maybe C is the little prince, and it's going to have to be Day that rescues C, sort of thing.
Jimmy and Mark.
Yeah.
Mark is a little prince, and
Mm,
Day is the
the
fox.
fox.
Maybe it's both at the same time, but in different ways.
It could be, but it could be like we might need to get to this point where, because I feel like it won't be out of character for Day's character to be somewhat, like, self-centered and, like, preoccupied with his own drama. And
Yeah, because yeah.
I feel I feel like when you're in a position like that, there it's really hard to, like, get out of your own way. Like, you
Mm-hmm.
think that your life is the worst, like no one else has it
Mm-hmm.
as bad as you. And I feel like the greatest thing that you can do, and the greatest thing that will actually help you in your, like, living your life positively, is to realize that it doesn't matter how fucking bad you have it, like
Mm-hmm.
how shit your life is, how bad your health is, how whatever, there is literally always someone who's worse off than you are. Like, and it's not that hard. You can usually, like, look around and find somebody. And
I
so
don't know. I don't think that really helps.
it doesn't, but what I'm saying is he might come to this realization that, like, he is not the only person in this. He has to, I feel like, come to a realization that he's, like, it's his this what's happened to him is not the end of the world, and he's not the only one who's been through something.
This might help him connect. This might
Yeah.
help him connect with people that but not necessarily feel better.
Yeah, I look, I mean, I can understand him never feeling like better about it. I mean, I'm someone who I love to read, and even with like all the shit you can get these days, like audiobooks and podcasts and all the rest of it, I would be so bitter and so like soul destroyed if I couldn't just pick up a book and read it like front to back, cover to cover. Like I just there's something about that that I intrinsically love. So it's such a weird thing for me to say that like I hinge my vision on, for example, but it's the thing that, you know, not even thinking about how much my life would change in terms of independence and not being able to drive, not being able to do this, you know, not being able to do things by yourself or like do all the stuff you could normally do. The thing that would like just like would be soul destroying for me would be like not being able to pick up a book and read it, like physically read it. um and so I feel like he's the right to feel bitter and angry and upset and destroyed. Like it's such a huge, besides the fact that he's like lost his um well, he's losing his sight, he's also lost this huge thing that like he was really into, he was really good at. He probably find as well, like he probably devoted, I feel like people who are like really good at sports and stuff, or who are really smart or really talented music and music whatever, they usually are people who devoted a huge amount of time to their craft. And so like you literally sacrifice for that as well, especially if you're, you know, child prodigies or like whatever. You miss out on like things in your life because you sacrifice to get, you know, somewhere with this, but and you don't mind because you love this thing, right? But then suddenly you can't have this thing anymore. This thing is not available, and then you have to wonder about like all the time you waste. Like it didn't get you anything. You have nothing to show for it except for a bunch of trophies or whatever.
And also, he loses his independence.
Yeah, he does.
He
Yeah,
has
but
to
he's also,
rely on someone else.
yeah, but it's also, it's like you have like you I if it was me, I would be thinking about all of that time that maybe I wasted practicing this sport or something, that like at the end of the day I could have been doing all these other things that I may never experience now. Like there's
Yeah.
going to be all sorts of weird like
Hmm.
bitterness going
Hmm.
on, I think. And
Yeah, this is why that quote from the beginning on the wall was like, "Too fast to live, too young to die."
mm,
He did not have time to live
yeah, that's
his
right. He
life.
didn't. Yeah, and now, you know, now he would feel like for a lot of things that it would be too late, or that
Exactly.
because of his limitations there would be lots of things he wouldn't be able to experience now, which isn't necessarily going to be true. Like there's probably a lot of things that he thinks that he'll think about that in that way that he can still do, he can still achieve, he can still, you know, like his, it's just that everything is going to be infinitely harder. The other thing is as well is if he was a child prodigy or something and he didn't actually have to practice and put all the extra time and energy in, like maybe this thing came really easy to him and it was something that like he was always just really good at. He it was easy for him to get, you know, the popularity, the whatever, like the attention and all the rest of it because he was just, it just came to him, and now suddenly he's going to have to work really really hard. That's another thing that we could, you know, that's another way they could be going, and we might get to see him like actually, you know, really trying and learning like different things about himself that he never got to experience before because everything was just so easy.
Anyway, the characters are much more interesting than the trailer promised. Like, I feel like,
It would be very hard to put all this information in a trailer that's basically like 2 or 3 minutes long and do it in a way that like either one doesn't give the entire story away and two doesn't like it actually gives you enough information to get this to the point that we are now where we're very intrigued and we're very interested. I feel
hmm
like, as I said, a huge part of what made this episode was the pacing and the editing and stuff as well, the way they did things, little bits and pieces that, you know, are really good representation of what it would feel like just in general. Like, just think about, one day waking up and not being able to just
No,
walk
don't
down
make
the
me think
street.
about it. It's enough for me for today. That's enough. Another moment, another moment that I loved was the their conversation when during the interview, and the
Oh,
way
I love that. I love the
the way they,
tell me what you look like. Are you hot?
yes,
Comment.
and see his acting in that moment and in that
Mm.
scene. Loved it, loved it.
I really actually, I'm really enjoying actually Jimmy as well, because he's doing a really good job of this, like we talked about, this like low simmer boil where you can see
Mm-hmm,
the
mm-hmm.
like violence and
Something's
anger.
coming.
Like,
Something's
yeah, and
coming.
yet he's so restrained with it, and clearly he wasn't as well. Like, I feel like, we talked about him trying to be a better person or trying to be
Mm-hmm,
better or whatever, with the quitting the drinking and all that, and this like restraint thing might be
mm-hmm.
something that he's trying to do to like better himself and keep himself out of trouble and all the rest of it. But that's not really a healthy like coping mechanism if you haven't dealt with what's causing the anger. Like, it has to go
I
somewhere,
feel like,
so
I feel
eventually
like he
he's
was
going to
like that.
explode.
I feel like he was like that. He was, he was violent, and he was all kind of like indifferent and everything, but there wasn't real emotion there. Like, he was
No.
violent because the circumstances were like this. But you
Mm.
like, and we're yet to see him being violent and having really emotions, like having an outburst, and that's going to be
Yeah,
really
yeah.
interesting. We haven't seen that yet from
No,
him.
we haven't, because that's what I'm saying. That's what like kind of threw me about this
Hmm.
super violent fight scene that we got with the broken bottle, was like in defense of his so-called friend, who basically had like stolen someone else's partner. I don't know if it was a boyfriend or a girlfriend. I don't
I
know,
think he was a
but like,
boyfriend.
yeah, but had like literally stolen his boyfriend or had an affair with his boyfriend or like whatever. It's not even his battle. Like, it's just,
Hmm.
and as you
He
said, it
doesn't
was
care.
complete. Yeah, he was completely like, void of any real, feeling towards what was actually happening.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
yeah, to actually see him fight for something and get angry about something that he cares about, and
Yeah.
that, like,
Oh,
it
let's see
may be
that.
that he's been numb like this since his parents died.
Oh, that's an interesting idea. Maybe.
Mm.
Mm.
So, and like slowly it's adding to the, like, we're adding to this like fire, we're stoking the
Mm-hmm.
fire.
Mm-hmm.
His parents died, his sister died, he's not with his girlfriend anymore. They're still friends, so I feel like that's probably not a huge thing, but like, you know the not being able
Maybe
to
he
get a
didn't really
job,
care
like,
about her. Maybe he never actually, committed to her
no. I feel
into
like
this
probably the
relationship.
fact that they're I feel like the fact that they're still friends indicates that they probably were friends to begin with and probably should have just stayed friends.
Yeah. I feel like he never really committed to anything. Maybe in
No.
his life, maybe since his parents died. Who knows? Like, maybe we'll get to know in the future.
Yeah,
And
we
now
might
he's going to
we
commit.
might get an interesting bit maybe where we actually get to see what he was like before. And
Although
it's
I think
interesting you said
it's
like,
going to take him a bit of time, because right now, like, he's still going to get, we're going to get that to that point where he's like, okay, I actually am really committed.
mm,
Right now, I think he's not really
no,
there. Like, he
he's
just
I
is
think
like,
I think the
I guess.
feelings will come.
I guess right now he's like, okay, so in that moment when we saw him fight, like, this is where the circumstances took him, He was like,
Yeah.
okay, I guess I'm going with the flow. And maybe right now he feels like that's what he's doing as well, going with the flow, because this is where, the universe takes him. But then at some point, he's going to have to just do what he thinks he must do and just stick to this decision of his, and not just let the circumstances guide him anymore.
Yeah. I feel like it will be interesting to see um that moment as well, though, like, where he has like purpose, like you said, he has purpose, and see who, or like Day rather, who like clearly had a purpose and a goal from, probably, like, as I said early on, if he was, always good at this or whatever, like, they need to switch almost. He needs to learn to let go.
Hmm. We've been talking for 40 minutes. Do we even know what we're talking about? I mean, like, we're
Do you
just
know
like,
what? Do you know what else is really interesting? We talked about um how Mock is like numb. Like there's this simmering anger underneath, but he's like emotionless.
Mm-hmm.
And Day is actually the same. He's just
Mm-hmm.
covering his with bravado.
Mm-hmm.
They basically neither of them are feeling anything.
Mm-hmm.
And it's all going to be buried under like a heap of loss and trauma and everything. It'll be really interesting, and they're going to make each other feel. That's what's going to happen.
Is Day as numb, just as numb, or does he want to be numb?
No, I think I think he has the same anger and fear and whatever else that's going in on like underneath that we see simmering underneath with Mock. I just feel like with Day, he's wearing on his outside like this cockiness, this like whatever.
Mm-hmm.
We have seen him like kind of get angry at night. So, but like this, I just feel like they're not. Neither of them are dealing with what's going on.
Yeah,
So
that's avoiding. Yeah, it kind of
yeah,
like, uh,
yeah. So I feel like they're going to start to have feelings for each other, and that's going to make them have to confront other shit.
mm-hmm.
Because once it's like opening, okay, you're a cat mama, you understand what I mean. You open the door like a little bit to like go out or something, and next thing you know, the cat has like shoved you out the way and is like making a break for it or whatever. It's like you open they'll crack the door a little bit for these like feelings that are starting to develop between them, and then
Mm-hmm.
it'll all just come like crashing out.
Yeah,
And I imagine it's going to be extremely interesting, so I can't wait.
I guess that's it.
Oh wait, we didn't talk
Mm.
about the trailer.
Oh,
I'm like, I don't actually remember what happened in the trailer.
there's something about him being able to see for 10 seconds after using the eye
Oh
drops.
yes, that was totally the bit that I actually wanted to talk about because he was like totally. Yeah, I talked earlier before about I thought he checked him out a little bit. He's
Uh-huh.
definitely checking him out in that scene.
Uh-huh. I don't
Also,
remember.
too. Oh no, he's like I only see it's like the clearest I see or whatever, and then like
Uh-huh.
he sees him through the fish pot, like through the fish tank, and he's all like, I'm not saying like he's like
Oh, you mean
ooh, but
Mark?
that's like the way you see it. Yeah, he sees Mark
Oh
through the
yeah,
fish
yeah.
tank.
His
Mm,
his gaze there, just like,
yeah.
yeah. Oh, good.
The end credits for this though are really cute as well.
Oh,
Like all these
really,
like
really good.
totally cute moments of them. And the song that's playing at the end, I assume is their song. I might have to go and listen to that, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, and I think we're done.
So this was fun.
At least for us.
Talk to us on Twitter, Tumblr, send us a voice message on Spotify. What was your reaction? Did you like the first episode of Last Twilight?
Bye for now.
Bye.